Infernal Shrines is our first map. Griefers on Safari going up against Trust Issues. Trust Issues. That was a difficult one. It is Division 1, which you probably already guessed from the first ban here. It is a meta ban. Maiev gets taken out on Infernal Shrines immediately, and that already indicates that these people expect their opponent to know what they're doing and to be able to use a hero like Maiev to shred them to pieces. It also results in an immediate Genji ban, so definitely already a very different setup from what we had in the previous games here when we casted Division 6, 7, the lower end of Heroes launch. But now that we're in Division 1, we're back to the top echelon, we're going to find out who's going to take it here, and we're also going to get to see a little bit more about the current meta in action as Trust Issues go up against Griefing Safari. The Mal'Ganis ban still holding strong. Now we've seen that in the upper ends of the skill level, he's not really played as much or focused as much as in the bottom of the bracket, but still a hero that can ruin your day. Therefore, banned out right away. And let's take it from here. Griefers, what's going to be the ban before we're heading into the picks? Zeratul gets taken out on Infernal Shrines. So no setups with the Void Prison and no backline damage for them right now. Diablo picked, and for me the question is if we're going to see Tyrande here. Now she is in general fantastic, but of course on Infernal Shrines you can play around Alexstrasza. You can play also around Whitemane a little bit more. But first of all, we're having Abathur being picked, and that's the best indicator that we are in Division 1. Abathur is a hero that is completely ignored whenever you're looking at the lower divisions in Heroes launch. But up here at the top, Abathur picked Johanna as well, and that allows Tyrande to be claimed by Trust Issues. So now they have the combo with Diablo just going straight into an overpower or wall bash into Tyrande's stun, trying to follow it up on that. So well done here. And this is, with Ophir, already a pretty scary combo, because you have a very, very solid setup where you can burn someone down very quickly. Especially once the ults are in. I mean, you can also follow the entire stun combo up with the clenching jaws on Ophir and then get even more stun in and add even maybe a little bit more damage. Could be a Reyna, for example, coming in on the auto attack damage if they really wanted to on the later end. So, yeah, Trust Issues for the time being with our last ban. And it's a Tracer. Okay. Tracer with Abathur would have been a little bit too annoying. Ragnaros and Brightwing. Not even Division 1 is Brightwing free. Sylvanas and Sonya being claimed here. And the Gazlowe. What the hell is happening here? What just happened? It went from picking Abathur into Gazlowe, Ragnaros, Brightwing. What the fuck is going on? What just happened? Oh, that is... Wait, what? Alright, let's bring it. Game 1. Game number 1 has started, and things went well originally for the Griefers on Safari, but then mid-draft, that drafter all of a sudden had a stroke and accidentally picked Gazlowe, Ragnaros, and Brightwing. Now we have them start on the left side of the map with Denka on Abathur, the wise Salami on Brightwing, Doggy on Gazlowe, Sionox on Ragnaros, and Ainga on Johanna. And to the right side of the map, Royal Thoil on Ophir for Trust Issues. We're having Sonic Gold on Diablo, Light on Tyrande, Talon on Sonya, and the Red Dragon on Sylvanas. So, yeah, that just happened. I really think someone should call an ambulance, because there is absolutely no way there's not a medical problem that all of a sudden has risen up here. Maybe an... Stop dancing with that thing! I mean, we have seen some Wombo combo potential in the past. You know, as Brightwing was picked, I was actually about to talk about how Brightwing in this particular setup has a couple of advantages. And that's namely because you have Abathur. So all of a sudden you can teleport onto a lane, you get an Abathur head, and you are practically playing a 3 versus 1 if you isolate somebody. So it can have a lot of value having that global in your rotation. But then we saw Ragnaros and Gazlowe happen, and all of a sudden I was just like, what's going on here? Now they have the wave clear. Like, I'm actually really curious to see how they're going to play this game, because they have a lot of wave clear, they have a lot of tools that they can try and dominate the shrines. There's a lot of AoE too, and stall out the game a little bit. So yeah, call me intrigued what the strategy is. And I confirmed, by the way, we are in Division 1. So I expect this to at least have some thought process. And I mean, there is a lot of tools that they have with this. The wave clear is definitely fantastic for them. That being said, we have already the kill against Ragnaros up at the top lane. So going up against the Sonya did apparently prove a little bit too much for the Fire Demon. And he's dead within a second. So that's about the start that you would expect here. I mean, it can only get worse from here on out, right? I mean, it's going to start, we're going to see Lava Wave being picked or something. You already know it's happening, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Like, my suspicion is... Oh, Gazlowe pushed into a corner and... down. Quick double kill against Gazlowe and against Ragnaros. My suspicion is that Tim, good old Trixler, somehow got to the blue team and bribed them. That's my personal suspicion. There is something fishy going on here. I'm already smelling a Murky for game number 2. That's pretty much where we are right now. But yeah, let's see if there's actually a chance for them to have a bit of an impact with it. I was fully on board with the Abathur pick, but then the draft got a bit wild. Then again, at this point, trust issues are basically just saying, you know what, guys, we are still going to play the normal game here. Let's see if you can handle that. And all of a sudden, a 4 versus 3 down here too, and that might be another kill. Yep, Eingarn's Johanna goes down. Gazlowe might be in trouble too. Gets pushed, gets body blocked, gets flipped. Maybe not. Brightwing trying to be useful. Helping out, gets the shield, teleports in, provides a little bit of space. But it's 3 kills against 0. It's an entire level lead. And with that being said, we're having the first shrine activating on the map, and that's going to be in the middle. So things are currently looking very good for Team Trust issues. And the only thing that the Griefers are doing is show everyone why it's a bad idea to pick Brightwing, Gazlowe, and Ragnaros. So I guess it's a little bit of a fan service thing, right? We should thank them a lot. They're visualizing this. They're saying, like, look at this. Even in Division 1, it doesn't work. Stop picking it. I can appreciate that. I really think it's very honorable that they sacrificed game number 1 to show us all of that. So I'm absolutely on board with this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it's great for educational purposes too. Jokes aside, let's see how they're actually going to play around the objective. Because Ragnaros is still holding the top lane. And we have Abathur at the bottom of the map. So now they're trying to get a bit of value from the heroes that they have. Especially Abathur with a side zone. Now, of course, an Abathur composition just really comes online when you're on level 10. So that's something to consider here too. Early game is supposed to go in favor of trust issues. Oh, the stun on the other hand. That could be the end of Orphea. Not quite. They're turning it around against Gazlowe. He's down. Spin to win. As Sonya goes in deep and tries to get Johanna. Is there another spear ready? Not quite. And Talon says eventually, alright, let's just buzz out of here because this is not going to go well. What's also not going well is the game for the Griefers on Safari. I mean, the name is apparently their mission statement. So now we're having the wall destroyed. Sylvanas is adding the value by disabling the fort in the middle and keeping those attacks going. And you can see how this is playing out. We have nearly a full HP Punisher rambling through that middle of the map and about to take down that first fort. Abathur went into Mule on level 7, but I got news for you, buddy. You can't repair something that's already destroyed. Would be an interesting buff, by the way, if they would... Why the hell did he use Molten Core? Apparently a little bit worried about that Sonya at the top, so we might have missed something there, but that seems like a bit of a waste of a cooldown. I would have expected that in the middle. Didn't really expect that at the bottom. I tried to see that as a defense maybe against the Punisher, but I'll tell you something else. Ragnaros is dead again. Went down to the bottom of the map, another camp is taken, 2 versus 3, and they easily move out of this one. Oh, but they're actually not stopping just yet. Apparently, Jojo wants a little bit more pain, and she gets it. 9 and a bit against 8. So Abathur has a mule. Would be an interesting buff to the mule if he could reconstruct buildings, given a little bit of time. Abathur is the only hero, by the way, that still has mule. Talking about talents in general, we're currently seeing the Celestial Attunement on Tyrande again, and also we're having a massive focus into the spin for Sonya, with Hurricane into Life Funnel claimed by her. Yeah, also, top lane, another structure is being attacked, and look at him. Good old Ragnaros is just sitting there, so it's like, nah, there is not really a whole lot to do for me here. Guess we're gonna let this one go. Orphea goes down at the bottom of the map. Alright, apparently lasered to death by Gazlowe, getting some value out of the hyper-focus coils here. Okay. Orphea eliminated. It's a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. Not only did you die, but you died to a Gazlowe and a Brightwing. That's always one of those moments where it's just like, yeah, I stumbled and I crushed into the wall, my character broke its neck, you know. No, there was nobody else there, that didn't happen. No, there was definitely no Gazlowe. Yeah, walk into that stun. Didn't apparently see it there. I mean, not that it had any consequences, but still. Heroic abilities are in, and that gives us the clenching jaws again. We have Wrath of the Berserker, Wailing Arrow. And on the other side, we have indeed the Lava Wave. Shame on you, Ragnaros. Shame on you, Sionox. I'm honestly at a point where I'm like asking myself, are they just trying to trigger me, or what's happening here? Robo Gazlowe as well. We're going to see the Robo Goblin. Here comes again the trait of Gazlowe, trying to use that. Camp stolen away, by the way. And here comes the attack onto Orphea, who starts hitting again, but Tyrande is down. Molten Core power. Molten Core, baby. There we go. And now the pressure onto Red Dragon, and that might be the end of Sylvanas, but she barely gets away. Laser to the face. And the immediate B-step with even the Lava Wave now rattling through and getting an entire minion wave. Value right there. Full ult cooldown, 120 seconds for a single minion wave. Totally worth it in my book. Totally worth it. What a fantastic choice. Now, Salami can still get a bit of damage in. I actually expect Abathur also to try and push this out even a little bit farther. It was a good lane to use it though, because the idea was obviously to put some attention onto the bottom of the map while you're going for the stacks on the shrine at the top. So that would be pretty important. And you can really see that Brightwing is trying to use the global now. We could see Abathur helping out down here too. I would really like for him to come down. And they push that out. But up at the top, the fight is already starting, and Brightwing needs to make the move in. Brightwing is really needed. Clenching jaws, the stuns. Brightwing is in, but a bit isolated. Sonya's down. Emerald Wind as Brightwing tries to escape, but goes down. Brightwing dead. Rest of the team on the run. They have a lead, but nice combo again with the Apocalypse here from Diablon. Bam, Ragnaros is dead again. 12 against 12, 7 kills against 3 right now. Gazlowe is in the middle, together with Denka on his Abathur, apparently trying to do things. Just a bit of an idea about the damage output in the game. Top damage, Abathur. Gazlowe coming in on third after Orphea on second. But that's another objective taken. And so far, I mean, they're holding on, right? They're losing structures, which is the big problem. But in general, when you look at experience, the blue team is actually holding on to this. Griefers on Safari are currently trying to run it down, but they are still in experience range, which is actually fairly important with this setup. Can they get a few more kills, though? That's really the big question. Another camp taken at least, thanks to the Robo Goblin. That's not going to be a problem. But now they have to face the music with the Arcane Punisher barreling to the top lane. 13 is there as a talent. They're still using also Lava Wave at the bottom. And I kind of like that they're trying to put some pressure onto the bot lane. And that's 2 minion waves that you just got from that. You have your own camp pushing. Abathur can help push there too. Brightwing is even still in the middle. But they have to now start and defend here. Punisher's baited over, and that's the moment when we're going to see that defense happen. Good condemn, actually. Really good condemn into the Gazlowe damage. I really like that. And now we're having the Molten Core being used. And that is the immediate signal for trust issues that they have to get out of this one. So Punisher is going to be defended. Not too much damage. The keep going to be saved. And Abathur gets value bot side. But is it going to be enough value? That's more or less my question. There are catapults now moving in. They are able to do that. It's the one lane where they took the fort. And they have a camp there too. But Sonya's already on their way. And the only thing they really got is that one turret. Not even quite the gate broken through. But with Molten Core, you can prolong the game. And let's, with all the jokes, with all the memes, let's keep one thing in mind. You can't take this too lightly. Because there's 2 globals on the blue team. It is a prolonged game, and eventually that Lava Wave, Brightwing on lane with Abathur combo is going to get some value. If you don't get picked off by your opponent will always have one lane pushing against them. And once keeps start falling, then it becomes really scary because you have catapults to deal with. But the kill count is obviously tilted heavily in favor of trust issues. Their combo just works better for that. But there is a macro level to this that makes the composition of the Griefers dangerous or at least annoying. So you can't take it too lightly. This can work if you don't play your cards right. But so far, Trust Issues has played this fairly well. And they're trying again for the team fight here, as Abathar is holding the top and tries to deep push the Shaman camp that was claimed by Trust Issues. But down at the bottom of the map now, another quick 4-man push. And there is a bit of danger with all of this, as we said before. Now, Ragnaros could think of deep pushing the top lane with a lava wave, to be honest with you. Would get 2 complete waves, 3 nearly with this. If he times it right, he gets basically 3 waves and the camp. But they are leaving it up to Gazlowe to go for that. Gazlowe still with the mule also in play. Alright, firing away. Ophia. Are we going to see the blessed shield? Oh! The juke! Ophia juking the blessed shield. She could have died there. Gets out with the mobility, blessed shield misses, and now the counter engage immediately. Condemn is there. Molten Core, baby! Yep, there's a fort, and the swing is hitting 4, and all of a sudden Sonya is in trouble. Baited into the attack. Can they get Sonya? Fuck yeah. Down she goes, Meteor to the face. Get rolled, but Diablo with the combo. They try to go for the counter kill. They're trying to go in right now. No Abathar copy, by the way. Not quite sure why that is. Abathar could have gone for the copy, but he just goes for the symbiote. Sylvanas in and out, might fall, but Diablo is again ready and is trying to now take down Johanna. They might gate that kill. It's close, but Sylvanas dies first. Sylvanas is down, so is Ophia. Yes, Johanna dies too, but still, that worked out just now. Again, you can't take that too lightly. And keep in mind, Abathar never even committed to his ult. But fighting right here was not really a problem. The problem was not stopping Ragnaros of going into Molten Core, and he just wrecked them completely. I mean, he ripped them apart. He got 4-man with the first swing, and then got the damage in, and Sonya just fell way too early. Once that you fight in that position, you need to make sure that whenever Ragnaros is starting the channel, you have either Sylvanas, Sonya, anybody ready with a silence, with a stun, with an interrupt, just to make sure he doesn't get that off. And now all of a sudden we're having a talent lead, or sorry, a level lead for the Griefers. That was a pretty fantastic setup right there. So let's see how this is going to work out. You can't take it lightly. I told you that before. The global aspect of this is making it dangerous. And now they're starting to move in. Diablo is already flanking at the side. Rest of the team is moving in too. Johanna is coming from behind, but she's a bit late to the party. Stuns come out. Here comes the move. Apocalypse when? Apocalypse. Not now, but he has it. Could use it any second. Doesn't so far. Waits for the combo, but with another laser, Gazlowe makes sure that they get the objective. Punisher is taken. Brightwing is dead. Not that it matters. Sylvanas, on the other hand, dies as well. Brightwing down, so is Sylvanas. It's a 4 versus 4, and look at Tyrande. She's completely isolated here. Tyrande is trying to get away. There's the quick lava wave to make that push even more scary, and it definitely does. With Tyrande down and the Punisher moving in, we could see some crazy shit happen right now. I mean, we're talking first keep of the game, right? And if this one falls, keep the lava wave in mind. Keep Abathar in mind. Keep Brightwing for the global in mind. You can always escort catapults towards the core. And they are doing the work right now. They're going in, and that game flipped quickly. The red team underestimated them once in the team fight, didn't commit to their rogues early enough, got baited into a Molten Core right on top of them, and now here we have another one. They're looking to get even more out of this. They're looking to see if they can maybe even get the game. A combo with Apocalypse, but Diablo exposes himself too. Here comes the damage. Dibbles on the way back. Royal Thoil is going down. Ophia is dead. Down goes Sylvanas. And we have Diablo just body blocked as Sonya falls. It's the 2 versus 5. The core is falling. And the Gazlowe combo is about to win the game. Trust issues. They got baited into a bad fight, and all of a sudden it turns around. Well done. Job. Great executed. Good job. The Griefers with a victory. Game number 1 ended in their favor. Trust issues got a little bit baited into that fight on the bot lane. Fighting right on a fort with the Ragnaros with Molten Core is not really the best decision. Needed to interrupt it once this channel started. Failed to do that, and all of a sudden they got wrecked, and it led to a Punisher that the Griefers used to win the game. Congratulations and well played. It's always tricky when you underestimate and comp like this, and they did it in one fight and lost the game because of it after a very, very good start. So I think that Trust Issues is not going to be too happy with the situation that they're in right now. But let's see if they can maybe turn this around on game number 2. We are still in Division 1 here. And Trust Issues, they ban out the Maiev again. We have Genji also banned. Are we going to see Respect ban? I doubt it a bit. Or Fear is banned at the same time now. And now that we are having... I mean, I'm currently just thinking. Svolskaya Foundry, is there anything that really stands out in terms of bans? I would say that Blaze is getting more value for the offlane now. But considering how much the Griefers have really focused those heroes in the last game, it's a bit different. But again, I really feel like they had a bit of a thought where they wanted to go into a global play. Once that they take fort or a keep down, they can start pushing with the catapults, use Lava Wave to clear the lane, and then just like push it harder with Brightwing and or Abathur. And they go for Abathur again. It's not a bad map for Abathur per se, but of course you need to be careful that you're not getting snowballed here in any way. And the Murky, they actually do it. They actually do it. I told you in game 1, this is smelling fishy. This is smelling fishy. They actually go for Murky. Unbelievable. Abathur, Murky. Please don't play this Tempo Storm comp though. Please don't play the stuff that Tempo Storm played at BlizzCon. Just don't, just don't, just don't. Diablo, Whitemane, and Gul'dan for Trust Issues. And if you're Trust Issues at this point, you're really looking at this and it's like, this is starting to be annoying. They're not respecting us at all. They're just throwing the most annoying shit at us that they can find. And this is rough. Can they maybe get a hero that can just farm Murky and get a couple of stacks together? That might be one of the thought process that they have here. We're gonna see. Abathur Murky is annoying. It's really, really annoying. The question just is, can you take it off? And they ban Rexa. Alright. Rexa banned. Zeratul banned as well. Zeratul with the Abathur head is a nuisance, to say the least. Like, he is really annoying. Brightwing as well. And Leoric. Okay. Again, with Abathur, Brightwing becomes a lot more value, gets a lot more value because all of a sudden you have an additional heal through Abathur. So you have more than one healer basically, and you have a double global available that allows you to put 3 heroes on a lane. So as much as Brightwing annoys me, you can actually do a whole lot if you have an Abathur there with a global setup. And with the Tassadar, they are all of a sudden going into a massive amount of shields. So they realize that Brightwing just can't keep them alive alone, so they have Abathur already, but they said, hey, even with that, it's going to be a bit rough, so let's get a Tassadar in there too. The Griefers are griefing. They are in the lead though. Let's go straight in game number 2 and see how this is going to work out. I want to assure everyone once again, this is really Division 1. This is not Division 7. I promise. I double checked several times. But now we have the Griefers, not only in the lead, but going with a composition where they go even more ham than in game number 1. Denka on Abathur. Sionox on Murky with a fish eye as the level 1 talent. We have Salami on Brightwing again. Doggy on Leoric. And Ainga on Tassadar. At the same time, you look over to the right side of the map, and you see Trust Issues with Royal Thoil on Gul'dan, Nerf on Sonya, Sonic Gold on Diablo, Red Dragon on Lunara, and Light on Whitemane. Now, as we said before, the combo with Murky and Abathur is actually a really annoying one. So Abathur and Murky can be extremely annoying to deal with. And we're already seeing them going in very, very deep here. Apparently, are they going to try and proxy the wave? I don't really think so. But we're going to keep our eye on them for sure. And you combo that off with a Tassadar, you have Brightwing shields, Tassadar shields, Abathur shields, a Leoric. It's a full-on cancer build if you think about it. Because what do you kill here? Abathur is not going to be a priority target for you because you shouldn't never get its hands on you. You have Murky, it doesn't really matter if you kill him. If you kill Leoric, he's going to come back in a second. Tassadar has a dimensional shift to move away. So it's really a setup where you have Murky and Leoric at the front with a massive amount of support from the backline that has also AoE and can do damage. So it is a lot scarier than it looks. I don't think that it's necessarily easy to execute, but you can do a whole lot with this. So people look at it and they see Murky, they see a Brightwing, they're immediately saying like, hey, these guys are trolling hard. And I guess to an extent they might be taking the piss out of it a little bit, but this is a lot more annoying than you would think, because no matter what you kill here, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. You kill a Murky, he's going to be back in a few seconds. You kill a Leoric, the same is true. You have damage from the backline through Tacita, especially when we're going to see him go into Archon. If this goes to 20, for example, you have a Twilight Archon with a mix too. So this is a lot rougher than people might think. And already the damage against Sonya here at the bottom. Abathur is not even helping out for that. But Trust Issues, they are currently making good choices. They're seeing the attack at the bot lane and they're immediately saying like, you know what, we're going to take the camp. Let's play the objective, play around the items, make sure that we're getting the lead in biotic emitters, that we're getting our turrets, and let's just not fall apart like in the last game. Just play calm, concentrated, and then we're going to be fine here. And so far they're doing well with that. They have Sonya trying to take both of the camps. She has to be careful with the rotation because of what happens on the other side, but it's still absolutely doable. Now Murky is starting to go into slime time here, so trying to get a bit more damage out with his slime, and of course the slow is another huge asset of this. Abathur, as expected, into the Carapace build to go straight for the shields, and we have the first objective about to spawn. But you'll see pretty quickly that it's going to be tough to kill something here, because what do you go for? What do you kill that has an impact? That's a big question. By the way, talking about build adjustments, we have now for Doggy on his Leoric on level 4, Ghastly Reach. So going into that over Neil Peasants. And they don't really need it. You have the wave clear. You have wave clear through Murky, through Tacita. Tacita now even going into the extra armor. Makes total sense, of course, for him to not go into the life leech here. And the first objective is additionally claimed by Trust Issues. They're starting to take the lead on it. And with that, we're now having the invade happening. Turrets on both sides. Biotic emitter taken by the red team, as mentioned before. But here comes the invade. Murky goes down against Sonya, but again, he's going to be back in a second. That egg is at the bottom of the map. It's right here on the conveyor belt, moving around continuously. The talent lead in the hands of Trust Issues. They have intercession now too. And we're seeing them starting to go for the objective. But let's see how long it takes for the team in blue claim something yet. The Lunara damage is actually really good. That's a decent adjustment. You're not really going for burst damage against the shields. You're going for damage over time and just trying to burn them down. And currently Red Dragon is really pushing them back with this. Like Lunara is doing a lot. He went into Splintered Spear on level 7. That immediately comes into play. So they are pushing them back and about to take the first protector. Murky died again at the bottom of the map. The egg is still on the conveyor belt as Yonox is trying to push that out. 10 abilities are going to change things a little bit again, so we have to be careful about that. But another quick move onto the turrets. We're seeing the same happening for the blue team as the Griefers on Safari are going on a little adventure here. But we are at 87, 89%, and they are starting to go for it completely. Murky gets flipped, gets the shield though, and is able to move away, jumping out of it. Alright, first turret on the ground, double turret on both sides, immediately being put in. Lunara with the damage output the entire time. Poison coming through, the Salami moves away, and Doggy is already low too. Might fall here, and indeed it does. And the red team is claiming the first protector, at least should be able to. Yeah, comes down, Murky dies again. And so far, the adjustments of Trust Issues are actually really good. That Lunara, for example, is getting solid value. Murky and Leoric both fell in the last fight. Now, of course, Murky is already bad to business. Nerf now knows where the egg is, and is going to be able to take that down. He didn't see it! Alright, he finally finds it. But it was hidden apparently, so Murky now has to take that first. But nobody's defending at the top lane for the time being, so they're going to be able to go through the wall and to take down the well. And if you're watching, especially the lower league teams, if anybody is watching here, this is what you're supposed to do with the first objective. If you win in the middle, you want to take down that fountain at least at the top. The reason is simple. Second objective spawns at the top of the map. And if you take down your opponent's fountain in the wall, if you can even take down their fort, for example, you eliminate a retreat spot and you eliminate the fountain for them to top up in the middle of the fight. So that's hugely important to give yourself a better start into objective number 2. Level 10 is early for Trust Issues. They get that quicker because of that. And now they can go for another biotic emitter, and the blue team can't contest it. They can't do anything about it. Because you're just looking again at a team that has rogue abilities. Going into this would be suicide, so you can't really do that either. Still seeing Murky at the side here, immediately being annoying. But with Abathur Head and everything else, it is a problem. You can never underestimate Murky in this case. And they're trying to go for it and get the kill. But you can tell how annoying it is, right? Like, he finally falls, but still, it is a pest. He stays there the entire time. Now level 10 abilities are in. And let's see if we're going to see a little bit more of that strategy come through. First of all, again, the combo. Archon comes out. That's going to be massive for the later fights. March of the Murlocs. Blink heal for Brightwing. Not even trying to create anything else here. And the March of the King. Even more sustained for them. Can't take the combo too lightly, but so far, as we said before, Trust Issues is playing this well. But keep in mind, you saw the Gazlowe and the Ragnaros in the first game, and everybody thought, okay, this is just trolling. One fight was all that it took to turn it around. The trap against Leoric, they're going in, they drop Murky, and they're trying to go for Leo as well. They're not quite able to get him. Well, maybe. There's a shield from Abathur. That helps. And the Tassadar shield comes through to very difficult to take him down here, but they got the Murky kill. Get a bit farther ahead in experience, and are even looking at an invade right now. But Brightwing is at the top. Probably gonna try and maybe even bribe a little bit, but needs to, I guess, move down here if they want to fight for it. They're giving it up. They're giving up the item. Quick shield keeps Leoric alive as he goes back in. He has to consume vitality. Could go for another swing here, especially, of course, with his level 4. And they are body blocking Murky. It's a Warcraft 3 surround. They go in, they body block Murky into a corner. Can't get away from this one. 2 kills against 0 still. But the next objective is going to spawn soon. And now they're rotating on the lanes to get the experience here too. So it is an interesting one. The red team is doing everything they can to not screw up. Again, they were ahead in the last game and then they lost. I mean, again, I have to mention it once more. They won with a Gazlowe and a Ragnaros. And now, now this is the chance to at least force the third game, right? So Lunara needs to be very careful, jumping in maybe a little bit too deep, straight into the polymorph, but they still get massive damage out against Doggy here. And Lunara was a great pick for them. Lunara is really a good pick, especially with the Splinter Spear setups that we've seen so far. She's been poking them low very, very quickly, and it makes it a bit easier for them to really pressure and force them back on the objective. So it works out quite nicely. And we don't have any stuns, keep that in mind. We have slows available, but there's no stuns. And with Intercession, there was also not really any reason to go into Octograb or anything of the likes. So this is one of the big downsides of the composition that the blue team is running. They have some slows and they have a polymorph, but they have no hard CC. Diablo is trying to take down Leoric, and yep, he falls again. That poison is really starting to be annoying. Like, Lunara is getting the entire time stack over stack in, and then even on the retreat, it's tough for Diablo to stay alive through the damage over time. The shield's only to an extent mitigating that. Now Abathur has taken the bot lane, but when it comes to objectives, the red team is once again on the move, and they're also trying to get another item. Yes, Murky is there, but they're just trying to exploit that right away. Leoric is also on the spot. It's a big one. Aegis being used from... yeah, there's the Horrifier as well. The Leoric goes down, and they're gonna get a second kill here, aren't they? Yep, the copy is burned down, and they're moving straight into Murky, into Tassadar. After the Scarlet Aegis was being used by Whitemane, they had the immediate Horrify come through too, just to secure the item, and now they have everything. They have the kills, they have the items, they are going for the objective again. They need to deal with the wave to the bot lane, and that's where Sonya is headed. And Sonya's not the only one. Brightwing is there, but look who else joined the fun. It is Lunara. And they nearly were able to take down Brightwing. Murky dies again topside, but they lost the experience wave down here. So there's still a huge gap in XP, but the blue team is trying to slowly close that gap. But items are taken again by the rest of the team, and towards the top we're seeing the fight starting once more. Yep, they need to be a little bit careful. Murky falls, but will be back in a second. Spawns bot side though, so has to travel throughout the entire map in order to make it back to the objective. But the rest of the team is there now too. Another egg is already being put in place. I think they saw it even. I've seen it for sure now. And the egg goes down, and Murky's immediately saying like, alright, that's my cue, I'm gonna be out of here. Up to the top, egg is being used again, and they're starting to move in against the Archon. Once more, we are seeing Lunara do solid work here. Items on the ground. Here comes the healing beacon and the second turret, as well as Leoric falls once more. Leorki and Tassadar are both dead. The copy of Abathur is also down. Lunara moves in to take Brightwing apart. She tries to blink heal away, but this is not happening either. It's a full wipe, basically, if you include the Abathur copy here. Great play. And once again, the egg immediately being discovered, immediately being taken down, putting the pressure onto Murky, forcing him back as he gets another one in place. So far, things are looking pretty solid for the red team. 2 levels ahead, 8 kills against 0. And the cancer style that the blue team had in mind as the Griefers were going for that composition is not quite working out the way that they wanted to. Now again, I said it before, there's a couple of advantages to if you're running that build. Obviously, it's a little bit of a trolley one, but still, you have a lot of heroes that you can easily keep alive. You have a lot of shields, and even if you get a kill, it doesn't matter as much because heroes like Leoric and Murky are going to be back very quickly. But the Lunara pick, I have to come back to it, and also the Gul'dan here, great picks. It's a lot of damage over time. It's a lot of damage that really just like rattles through those shields very, very easily. And I mean, at this point, if you're just looking at the stacks, 25 already for Gul'dan. We're seeing Diablo nearly completing his 13. Down goes Tassadar. They're preparing the bottom lane now for the next objective, taking down that fountain, trying to take down the 4-2. The one at the top lane has already fallen. And that's just nothing to do here. March of the Murlocs has been used, but they don't really care about it. They're trying to go for Murky again, and even with Abathur, it's just not too much of a nuisance. The blue team is trying to play the global game right now. They have Brightwing in the middle, they have Abathur at the top. They're trying to soak experience, push the lanes out, play around that. And it is doing some work, but it's just not enough to just close that gap. The objective is strong on this map if played correctly, and you can, even after changes, and you can now already see how much they're doing in terms of structural damage. Brightwing and Abathur can just not do enough about that. Once again, the attack against Leoric, and Leorki goes down for the 4th time in this game. Actually, did he? No, he didn't. He actually didn't. Murky went down. My bad. Bit of the wrong one. Wrong first letter. Murky instead is in the middle, and Abathur is still soaking experience. But what really sets the red team ahead is the item control. They've done extremely well with their decision-making on the map. And again, there we go. Maybe Doggy on his Leoric. No, he survives again. Just look at it. March, like, he has so much sustain with the March of the Black King, with the Vitality. He went into a complete drain build, by the way, with Crushing Hope and the Hardened Bones. So as long as he goes in and just drains away, it's incredibly difficult to take him down, since he gets that Abathur head all the time. He gets the shields from Tassadar the entire time. Brightwing can come in with a heal, has the Blink heal too. It's an insanely annoying composition to go up against. The red team makes good choices, and that's why it's not quite that obvious. But if you go up against this style, it's really difficult to play against. Good Horrify comes out. Again, Leoric is being attacked. Murky goes down, and they get the kill against Leoric right now. Mass drain build, mass survivability build, very little hard CC though, and yet that's a kill against Tassadar. Good draft from Trust Issues, and really playing it well this time. They make great decisions around the map, going at the perfect moments of time for objectives, going for items, and really trying to play those advantages. But they made one mistake in the first game, and it cost them the game, or at least it allowed their opponent to close the distance. Right now they want to make sure it doesn't happen again, so they go straight for the keep. And with this one gone, the next protector would immediately go for the core, or have the option at least. Here comes the drain again. Gets pushed away from it though, and now Lunara is bringing the numbers. I'm talking about the numbers. Lunara is sitting at 50,000 damage. Leoric, on the other hand, if you look at his damage output, he's actually sitting at 53. So he has been doing a lot. That constant drain that we saw from him is definitely doing quite a bit of work, but they have nothing to really secure a kill. It's one of the biggest problems that they are having now with this setup. Royal Thoil with another quick combo, trying to get the damage in against the structures. They're going for another item, and they also want, of course, level 20. Here's the zoning from Sonic Gold, knows what's happening, and they're going for the objective, and they're going to, for the item, and they're gonna get it. They grab the item, they go for the fight. Massive, massive Echoed Corruption. Horrify comes in, they go for Leoric. March of the Black King, he has it, and here comes first and foremost the March of the Murlocs. March is there, they go for the Leoric kill, and in the meantime, Diablo might be in trouble, but they should be able to save him, maybe? Yeah, they are. Go straight into the Biotic Emitter. They have level 20 now. That gives them even more survivability. The Hellgate for Diablo. Murky falls again. And we're seeing also Ignore Pain for Sonya. Great aggression from them. Going again for another objective. Trying to maybe take another fort down here in the middle of the map to get even more catapults spawning. Another item is being focused right away. And more it looks like Trust Issues are able to get the third game that they want. They can go for the objective now. Doggy still with the drain here, 2 levels behind, 13 kills against 0. But they're so far not making the move. They're not going for the objective just yet. Trying to tap at the fountain first. Okay, finally we're going to see Sonya start to rotate down. They took a camp topside, mitigating some of that pressure that Abathur and Brightwing can put onto a lane. And Brightwing is already in the middle. Again, they're heavily trying to commit to those globals now to close the experience gap, but it's difficult for them to do anything about it. Sonya's very much alone here as another item gets grabbed. Doesn't risk anything. Sees a hero, immediately moves away. Not even hesitating. And we have Brightwing being attacked at the top side. They're trying to go for a kill here. Not able to get that. Too much mobility, too many shields. But the bot lane is still open. And again, they should go for the Protector. If they get that, then they can go straight for the core. If they can get it before their opponent hits 20, they have the Storm Talons too. But they were trying to somehow get another kill at the top. And they have the slow now against Leoric, and he's immediately forced to use the Wraith Walk. He walks away from this one, but now the objective is about to be taken. Splitting the team a little bit, setting that up. But yeah, everybody in their position. They want to end with this one. And you know it. I mean, this is really what they're trying to do. End the game. Don't allow our opponent to get 20. Because there's a couple of really good 20s coming up now too. Especially when you're looking at the Twilight Archon. That's going to be really rough to deal with. I gotta give a lot of credit to Trust Issues. They made it look a lot easier than it is against this composition. And it's not really easy to go up against something when you haven't faced it before, and this is definitely a comp that you don't see all that often, but good play. Nice kill there too. Ford in the mid lane falls though, so that global pressure play that we're seeing from Griefers on Safari is paying some dividends. If you look at the top lane, we have Denka now trying to get another one, so he's heavily pushing this out with the camp that they took earlier. But of course the big problem is the bot lane. This is where we're now seeing the Protector moving in. 20 is nearly there on the other hand. This is really the big question. Can you end here? If you can, it's fine, but here comes the copy. Double Leoric, they're going in, they're going for the mass drain. March of the Black King comes through. Quest completed for Gul'dan, and the egg is being used again. Catapults are in, and we already have the Protector on the core itself. They're trying to deal with it. Immediately, Tassadar, the Twilight Archon, gets pushed out, gets moved away. They have a mule. You need to end, or you will see that core getting healed up fully again. But Tassadar is dead, and this looks more and more like we are going to see game number 3. Yes, indeed, Trust Issues take the victory on Volskaya Foundry and force a deciding map. The series is tight, and the Griefers actually losing their Murky Abathur game. Now we're on Dragonshire, and I'm wondering if Abathur might even be banned out. I mean, they played him twice in a row now, and I guess if you ban him, you already eliminate a lot of the options that they have here. So it might be something that the Trust Issues are considering. It's still a hero that you can play on Dragonshire. And yes, there it is. The immediate Abathur ban is like, get the slug out of here, we're done with this shit. Griefers on Safari, they ban Diablo. And we don't know what's coming. Are they going to go into a full meta composition now, as it is the last and final map, or are we going to see something a bit more experimental once again? Trust Issues, get rid of Maiev. Don't want to be forced into any fights that they don't want to take. And the ban for the Griefers. What are we going to see? I mean, we have still a lot that can be banned out. Genji, Mal'Ganis, there's a lot to get rid of here. And they go for Genji. So Mal'Ganis is actually open and could be picked, as Trust Issues has the first pick of the game. Tyrande is still an option, by the way, here, obviously, too. You have a lot of potential setups you can go into. And they go Mal'Ganis. They go Mal'Ganis right away. Fell Claws all the way on the Night Rush. But you can still play around Tyrande quite nicely, because there's a lot of heroes, Muradin, for example, that are still quite strong here. So you can always have that initial setup into the Tyrande stun with a Hunter's Mark and then try and go for a quick blow up. But the Griefers. Lucio and Gazlowe. Now, since we are in Division 1, I'm actually wondering if they're trying to play this annoying dance around your opponent game where you try to speed into a structure, take it down quickly, and then move away. You can definitely do that with Gazlowe if you go into the Robo-Goblin. So they are still staying true to the setup. And trust issues, they're more or less done. Zeratul, Reyna immediately being picked and saying like, yeah, this is not working. You surprised us in game number 1 and we griefed it a little bit, but now we're having your number. The griefers are still sticking with their kind of meta. I'm actually wondering if they always play like this, because I think I've casted them before, but I can't remember seeing this many YOLO comps coming out of them. So, Khaldor is banned. Bit worried about that damage, but at this point you're just wondering what are the other heroes. I wouldn't put it past them to play around the Ragnaros again, to be honest. I mean, you can play that lava wave again, dominate the lane with it, and trying to just play that global game. But they went away from Brightwing this time and went into Lucio. So again, you can try and go for structures, zip away with the movement speed and try to use that to your advantage. And it's honestly what I'm wondering if they are planning to do that. So Nubarak gets banned out as well. No cocoon shenanigans by the griefers. Tassadar once more. And Johanna, okay. Massive amount of wave clear already. I mean, really huge amount of wave clear that we're having on those heroes. But that last pick. They don't have range damage. Keep that in mind. They still can laser with Gazlowe, but they don't have any actual range damage. They have a lot of poke from range through abilities. But there's no traditional range damage on their side just yet. White main again. Okay, for the Scarlet Aegis. And sticking with the Sonya that they already played in both of the previous games. Seems to really be one of the staples. And we have a Varian. There has to be meme blades, right? Lul blades, the NA blades coming through. The way they've been playing the entire time, I just can't see them play with Taunt. I don't know why. I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm not quite seeing the play here. But then again, Tassadar, Varian. Let's go. Let's check it out. Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what they got. Game number 3, and I'm a little bit skeptical with that composition. The other comps were YOLO, but they had an idea and they had a strength to them. With this one right now, I'm not quite sure if I'm really on board. Denka's on Tassadar, Doggy on Gazlowe, Y Salami on Lucio, we have Sonyox on Varian, and by the way, he goes into the High King's Quest on level 1. Just pointing it out, And Ainga on Johanna. And to the right side, for trust issues, Nerf on Sonya, we have Light on White Main, Sonic Gold on Mal'Ganis, and Royal Foil on his Zeratul with Red Dragon playing Reyna this game. Also a bit of a focus here with the Clemency straight into the Inquisition. So moving away from a lot of the standard here. Mal'Ganis, by the way, with the time to feed, pretty normal to be honest for the hero. Trying to just get those extra heals and sustain out. But yeah, call me intrigued. I mean, there are a couple of things that they definitely have going for them, but seeing the Varian coming in the last pick without a lot of burst damage behind him is a bit strange. The biggest burst damage that they have is a laser, and so the question is, do you go into a taunt? But if so, what's the play? And if not, is it gonna be really Wind Blades, which normally we don't really see. If anything outside of taunt, we see a lot of Colossus Smash coming in. Now with Lucio, they at least have the quick rotations, and that is something that they're going to try and use to interrupt. You can see how they dominate that middle area between the two lanes already. First of all, the vision that they get through turrets, and it keeps the red team very far back. They are oftentimes, I mean, look here at Reyna. He takes all the way the safe path into the middle, not trying to interrupt anything here or get caught. So this is something that's going to be happening a lot in the early game. The domination with those quick rotations is going to be coming from Griefers on Safari for sure. And Gazlowe is at least able to take all the camps on the map. I mean, that's what he's for, right? So they're going to be doing well with those Siege Giants coming through the middle. But we also have now a camp already committed to by the red team. But Lucio checks it out. I mean, we have a lot of wall ride happening here. A lot of speed coming into play to help rotations and later on again too. But yeah, there's the zoning happening from Mal'Ganis in the main tank position here. And they take the camp. Sonya, on the other hand, is all the way up at the top. And we still have Varian around here together with Tassadar. Tassadar can, of course, soften the waves up quite easily. Double Shrine already taken. And, well, with that being said, they have to somehow get into this. And Varian does his thing against Sonya, and Sonya's not looking too good here. We have interrupts in the middle, gets one in, but it's starting to get a little bit tricky. This is too late, there's gonna be a Dragonite. No, it's not! Apparently Zeratul went in again, but he might die for it. Zeratul dies for it. He says, okay, I can prevent the Dragon Knight, but I might fall, and indeed he does. If not for that, they would have gotten it already. Here comes the kill against Varian at the top lane, on the other hand, though. The big fight is happening at the bottom, but, yep, Varian died topside. Sonya is very low, though, and Lucio is going for the chase here, but we're still having the heal up thanks through that. Again, the early domination goes to the Griefers. They have the quick rotations, they're using it very well, and they have these setups with Gazlowe and the turrets on those shrines, and they already hold another potential Dragon Knight. And it barely is being grabbed. DK early on in the game. They have the wave clear, they have the positional fight through Gazlowe if they can set it up properly, and that's exactly what they did. So it's a Dragon Knight in the mid lane that they have to deal with right now, and we have Wind Blades, baby. The Wind Blades are in. He actually went for it. Twin Blades of Fury. The attack speed advance. If you don't have any stuns against him, it can be a massive, massive problem. I'm actually, if anything, a little bit shocked that... Ooh, Reyna dying here. Where the hell did that happen? I definitely missed that one. Reyna dying, I mean, makes it a little bit harder to defend against this, I guess. But what I really wanted to point out, I could have seen Life Leech on level 4 for Tacita with Wind Blades if they go for that. We have the armor again that really helps against the attack, but yeah, I could have totally seen him go into the Life Leech with the Twin Blades of Fury here, the Tacita thing. So yeah, the Dragon Knight punting Reyna to his death and kicking him away. Good kill for them. 2 kills against 1, early level 7, now 2 for them. But Jimmy is back, and Jimmy is mad now. Jimmy's like, yeah, I just got kicked by a Dragon Knight, I got kicked in the ass. Worked as you would imagine, but now we have 2 kills against 1, a level lead and damage in the mid lane. So right now the red team is starting to fall slightly behind, not by much, but they need to be careful here. Now keep in mind, they have a lot of spikes coming up, especially on level 20. Here come the Wind Blades, immediately he'll move out. Zeratul is not risking anything here, but now we're having Sonya coming into Wind Blades, baby, and there we go. Without stuns, it is a problem. And they have not that many stuns, to be honest. Not a lot of hard stuns that are coming in here. Now we have some tools where you can move away from him, that's great. But if you're going up against Wind Blades, you really want to make sure that you have some kind of hard CC that you can use to just stop him from attacking, basically. That's what you need to do. Stop him from attacking and play around that. But there's not really a lot of blinds or a lot of like stuns or anything, so this could actually give them value. Still a little bit skeptical, but I'm ready to be convinced. I'm ready to be convinced here. For now, though, we're having still a camp about to be taken, but that's going to be a big fight. And yes, Gazlowe is on the way now too, but so is Zeratul. And he might not be level 16 yet, but he can still hack and slash away. They take the camp, grab that, an attempt by Lucio to push Reyna into the mix. So far, not successful. But we have soon level 10 abilities coming in. And again, late game, 16, Void Slash for Zeratul. That might just be it. Especially Lucio's gonna have some trouble against that. But not only him, Zeratul of course to consider too. So it's definitely an easy setup there, or an interesting setup that we're having here for the two. Yep, Wind Blades again, and Varian. He's doing his best, but that gank was just a little bit too much for him to handle. And it comes at a really good time, that kill, just as the shrines are being announced. Bot lane, the attack is there again, and just keep those 10s in mind, because that's what we're going to look at though soon. Second wind now also for Varian, obviously. If you go into the Lull Blades, you want to have that too, so that you get even more heal, more self-sustain. Yeah, again, the Night Rush coming out for a second. Sonic Goal is a little bit low though, but they're pushing Gazlowe back and they're trying to force that first Dragon Knight for their team. Again, the interrupts, a constant poke from Gazlowe's laser and also Tacita, but Zeratul is now making a rotation down and is trying to get the kill, and there's a really good chance he's going to get it. Shields or no shields, that might just be it. They go for Gazlowe, the body block is phenomenal, and they get the kill, but Sonya and the rest of the blue team took down Sonya at the top lane. So quick kill at the bottom, kill at the top, one wave lost for the red team, but also a camp about to be acquired from trust issues as they're rotating bot side. We have Warbringer taken for Varian. Outside of that, the Blessed Shield was used as the initiation against Sonya on the top of the map. Nothing really too crazy in talents outside of that has been taken so far. We're having the Robo Goblin again. So yeah, let's get this pain train on the road. Already we're having the camp pushing through the wall here. might be able to get the second tower, but there's also a flank to be considered, so you need to be really careful with this. Now Malgan is obviously going for the carrion swarm, bit of a trap attempt here. Nobody falling for that just yet, but up to the top lane, Varian dying again. Zeratul is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's roaming the map, he's going for the kills, he takes down Gazlowe at the bot lane, rotates top to get Varian again, and these sneaky setups and trying to get these number advantages for quick kills are working very nicely for them right now. Yep, there's Lucio too. Needs to be also careful as Royal Thoil is starting to move in. But Sonya is there now as well. Tries to get the spear, but is misplaying that a little bit. Gets some damage out though. But the bot lane pressure is definitely pretty heavily in favor of the Griefers. It's a back and forth the entire time. 4 kills against 3. Zeratul is in again, trying to go for a kill against Tassadar. They're putting the pressure onto Johanna now too. And here comes the attack, but Red Dragon is low. Nice heals coming in from Whitemane, and that might be the kill with the Fell Claws. Dreadlord action goes in deep, and they get Johanna. Johanna is down, but is it going to be a Dragon Knight? It's unlikely. Yes, Sionix is trying to channel it, but the bottom is already taken. So it was an attempt by them to make a play with Lucio and Varian while time is being bought by the rest of the team down to the bottom of the map, but it didn't quite work out for them. So far we haven't really seen even a setup with Void Prison, to be honest. Haven't seen that being used yet either. 5 kills against 3 here in our Division 1 game. Again, it's laser time. Gets a bit of damage in, but not the full force against Royal Thoil. Zeratul now has to claim the bottom, and he's not really going to be too happy about that. Gets the shield. Lucio nearly with a boop, but the blink is there in time, and here's the Void Prison. Void Prison setup. Even Scarlet Egg is being used. Maybe a little bit of a misclick here, and they are not in a decent spot here. That setup didn't work. The Void Prison was there, the damage wasn't. And then especially Light misclicking there a little bit and using that too early didn't really help them too much either. Just off with the timing a bit if they wanted to force the fight big time. But we are moving more and more closer to level 16, and that is when Zeratul is going to shine, for sure. So right now, Varian still up at the top, dealing with Sonya. The two of them down here. Full shrine control for trust issues. They're still holding the spot, but we are seeing more and more Griefers trying to invade. And now that they have level 13 talents, definitely possible. And they're immediately looking at it. Right away. Varian is again in trouble. Again, Royal Thoil and Zeratul. Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Trying to get kills in, trying to get damage in. And he gets the damage in against Varian. Varian is struggling hard. I mean, of course he is. He's taking meme blade, so... But yeah, so he has trouble against the 2 versus 1 setup that we're seeing here. Juggernaut now taken 2. A little bit of burst damage that he can push on Malganix, for sure. But again, we're seeing that 2-for-1 top side. And he's still holding his own. I mean, he's still holding the lane here. So he's still not, like, they haven't broken through the wall or anything. But now Zeratul is making the rotation strike back into the middle and down to the bottom of the map. By the way, Goblin Fusion has been taken for Gazlowe. Laser time, Hyperion 2, and that could be the kill. But Sound Barrier, really nice from Lucio. Great job mitigating a lot of that damage. Laser comes in again, and Red Dragon is low. Stunned out 2, they're going in, the Condemn, and that's the kill right there. The kill against Jimmy, and all of a sudden the Griefers on Safari, they have the momentum. They have both of the shrines under their control for a few seconds, but Sonya reclaims the top. Varian, on the other hand, is already on the way to deal with it. And here comes the action. Trying to out-heal that. Guess what? That's not happening. Get slammed, brother. Down he goes. Varian against Sonya. That's an easy win for her at this point in time. Job well done. Slammed into the ground. Where are your wind blades now? In the ground. Easy. Easy poggers for Sonya. 6 kills against 4. And also 5 versus 5. Reyna's back. Jimmy's back to business. Jimmy reporting for duty, and they're reporting for a Gazlowe kill, potentially. Yep, there they go. Void Prison is set up. They want that kill. They really want it. Do they? Maybe. Yes, Sonya comes in. Oh, needs to be very careful. She's a little bit low on health, if you ask me. But Lucio is isolated, is away from the team. But there come the immediate stuns. Bond with the TNT from Gazlowe, and they can't follow through. That was actually a lot of cooldowns that they just burned. That was a lot. That was a Void Prison, that was the Scarlet Aegis from Whitemane. So not quite the success that they were hoping for. But the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. If you think that Zeratul so far was already annoying to deal with, just imagine what happens once that he hits level 16 and gets the Void Slash. And I have news for you, that's going to happen in less than half a level. So that's going to be great for them. Not that the red team or the blue team doesn't have any advantages there too, but we all know how heavy that power spike on Zeratul is. Try and steal the camp away. There's the move. Can't take the camp. Maybe a kill. They're trying to look for one. Can't really get it. And now the Dragon Knight could be grabbed. Need to be careful here. Need to send someone in because Varian is on the way. And we have a fight down here, but this doesn't really look too likely. And they let it go. Nobody in the middle, and that's the DK. Varian takes the Dragon Knight. Maybe if he exchanges the Lul Blades for Battle Axe, he starts to become useful. There's definitely a chance. Down at the bottom of the map, though, we still have a Hyperion committed and a big fight happening. It's a 5 versus 4 in favor of the red team, but they're not dealing with the Dragon Knight now, obviously. 16 is there. There comes the quick ult from Lucio. Didn't really do too much because they were already on the way back. The call was made to move mid lane and deal with the DK. That's a big cooldown burns, but I mean, he couldn't quite know that. That's an interesting punt. Royal Soil, nah, doesn't eat too much damage here. Well, he gets a little bit. The Dragon Knight definitely goes in and wants him. Shouldn't be able to get that kill, though. Quick tap on the fountain makes sure of that. There's another punt, but it only puts Mal'Ganis in a position where he might be able to go in. Alright, they're going for Varian here. He gets the shield from Tassadar, now joining the 5 versus 5 fights. That might be a different story. Good penetrating round from Reyna, pushing him back. White Mane in trouble. Void Prison to save her, and she is back. Can they get the damage in now? They try to. They try and go for Sonics, and they're about to drop him, and that is Varian dead again, and he's not the only one. Johanna falls too, and here comes Zeratul, slicing and dicing, slash after slash, going in, ripping them apart. 8 kills against 4. And in the damage output, you can definitely see that too. It's Reyna who runs the numbers, but we are going to see those numbers explode for Zeratul now as well. 27k for him. Gazlowe with the laser the entire time is doing solid work, of course, as well. Gets another big one in here. Yep. And gets a huge chunk out of the hit point pool of Mal'Ganis, but not enough to really threaten him. Sonya with the camps at the bot lane. Game number 3, the series being tied between our 2 Division 1 teams, as we have 16 on both sides right now. Lucio definitely with better heal now as well. And on top of that, of course, we are having the double storm for Tassadar to just soften everybody up a little bit. You have the double storm on Tassadar, you can now still follow up with the lasers, so there's a little bit more of a chance to poke them down slowly and steadily. But we're having also the attack starting again, and here comes Varian, immediately gets the shields, is focused right away. They're not fucking around with that guy. They're immediately saying, whenever you see Varian, focus that guy. Don't allow him to get the damage up, don't allow him to just slice and dice here, but they are low now. Again, the AoE is strong. The AoE is horrible for them. Mal'Ganis goes down. Mal'Ganis dead. Cooldown interrupted here as he was trying to go for the Carrion Swarm, and now, of course, it is Chase. Sonya is dead, and Lucio excels in these situations. A lot of distance to safety for the red team, and they lose 3. They lose White Mane, they lose Sonya. It's Varian who just rips them to shreds. No focus this time. The AoE did too much. All of a sudden, they try to turn it around. And that is a massive problem now for trust issues. At this point, it's 7 kills against 8, and the team is coming back. But he has the counter kill attempt against Tassadar. There's still a 4 at the top lane, and so they're trying to go for another DK. Rotation is there, and they can't really prevent it. Zeratul moves in, moves out. Very little to do. The channel is already on. Lucio is going to get the Dragon Knight, and they are ahead. 19 versus 18. Trust Issues played a great game for a long time, but now they are losing the 3rd objective. They haven't secured a single Dragon Knight. It's the 3rd DK for the Griefers. The 3rd DK for them. They already opened the wall at the bottom. Gazlowe is eating damage, but he's not going to fall here. It's going to be a 5 versus 5, but now we have Griefers on Safari, extremely close to 20. They want to go for the keep as well. There's the Void Prison, trying to slow it down a little bit. All the attacks here, and right more again the attack on Varian. Varian goes in, and the kill against Zeratul from the Dragon Knight. Quest completed again. High King's quest is done, but Varian falls again. Nerf is wrecked though. He dies too by the Dragon Knight. Lucio takes down the Sonya here in his Dragon Knight form. It's a 2-for-1 trade that we're seeing. The keep still stands, but for how much longer? It's a 4 versus 3 right now. He tries to get another punt through. They're trying to burn the DK down, and they will succeed, but the keep is so low that a little bit of laser damage is already going to seal the fate of it. Here comes the Night Rush. They're trying to see if they can maybe get... Yes, they can. They can get Tassadar. The keep falls, but they get the Tassadar kill. 10 kills against 9. It's crazy. 20 versus 19 now in levels. The Storm Talents are there. And of course, with that, we're now also having It's Raining Scrap. Didn't really expect that to be the pick, but fair enough. Scraps are being taken. Then again, I don't really play too much Gazlowe, so I'm just gonna trust him here. We're having with level 20, of course, also the Frenzy taken, so that makes this even more crazy. The increased speed and therefore also the increased self-sustain with the level 7 talent on his side. The important part really being that we have 20 any moment now also for trust issues. But if they want to win this game, they really need to start and win some decisive fights. Not only take kills, but really win a fight that leads into an objective, because that was their biggest issue so far, not getting anything out of that. But just look at the 20 talents that we have on the side of the Griefers. I mean, we mentioned a few already, but there's more to consider too as you're looking at that Twilight Archon. Reyna now with good damage output on the other hand, so that can really work. Sonya is more survivable thanks to the Ignore Pain. There's definitely a lot of arguments to be made. I mean, we have Subjugation, that as well, and that is pretty insane. So, yeah, damage reduction there. If you go for one target that really... If Varian is your biggest concern, he's going to be dead. Okay, there's the Void Prison. They want this one. They definitely want him, and they need to get him now. Hyperion, but Lucio is ready. Lucio is ready with the ult, and he saves them for now. Ah, but they don't save Varian. Varian is dead, and he might only be the first one. Look at Tassadar. He has to move back already. Johanna falls too. They take 2 down. 2 kills at this point. Let's take another look at the numbers here. By now, Zeratul is sitting at 41,000, 68k for Reyna, 86,000 for Gazlowe, as he just keeps lasering the entire time, one laser after another. He has the first shrine taken. Lucio has rotated to the bottom of the map. There are already catapults and also a few siege giants making their way over to the core that have to be dealt with eventually. Lucio is trying to delay them. 2 heroes down for another 30 seconds. Gazlowe towards the top, and it's a trap. He's walking right into Zeratul, and Zeratul just slices him to half HP in no time whatsoever. Another shrine about to be taken, but we still have a Tassadar in the mid lane to try and delay this one. And Nerf is not going to be able to get that channel through while Tassadar is in the area. There's Mal'Ganis though. That might change things a little bit. They're going for the channel again. Rest of the team is there. Bot lane is attacking the core though. And the Dragon Knight is taken. DK is taken, but someone has to deal with that shit. Someone needs to go back and needs to do it now, because that core is losing hit points, and it's losing hit points fast, and no one seems to care. There we go. Zeratul is finally back to action. 85%. He's going to take it down. 82, and that is it for now. Dragon Knight, they can wait. They have the time, 1 minute and 10 seconds. They can wait for Zeratul. And then start to make their play. They want to make sure that they get the key bot lane. That would at least put an equilibrium in terms of push power from the waves onto the bottom of the map. But the core is down by 18% right now. And we are seeing them starting to move in. Cooldowns are ready, all of them. Not a single one on... Actually, we have Archon not ready, but it will be. It will be ready for the fight. Everything else, here's the Hyperion. Zeratul jumps in, tries and get the damage out, and they want the keep, and they should get the keep. Very unlikely that it's not going to fall here. The Dragon Knight hammering away with the axe. Bam! One hit after another. 20 minutes in. Definitely doing the work right now. Slashes from Zeratul coming in as he jumps in deep. Nightcore also coming through with a quick sleep here as the rush is in. The Fell Claws putting in position, and they want more. They want to go for the keep again. Here comes the ult. The Scarlet Aegis! Mal'Ganis is still alive, is healing the entire time. They're going for the core and it's falling quickly. But is it falling quickly enough? Whiteman is already dead. Mal'Ganis is about to fall. The shields are coming out, 20% on the core. They're going in again with Sonya, with Zeratul. They all fall. Sonya is alive and she takes it down. And this is game trust issues with a 2-1 victory.